Hard work will never make you wealthy, not in 2025. And if you think it will, you're already behind. This is a lie that we're sold. Everyone says the harder you work, the more money you make and the more successful you will be. While it's partly true, it's partly not. And I'll explain exactly why in this video. I'll give you guys multiple examples of my situation, other situations, right? So for example, if you're at a job and let's say they're like, oh, we'll give you, 5% more on every single deal. That's kind of what happened to me. Or, hey, we'll give you a little bit more salary. What happens when you make a little bit more? You pay taxes on it. You pay higher taxes because you make more. The more you make, the more you pay in taxes. So I'll kind of get into that in other videos, but it's a lie we're sold. And hard work is not enough. Like, it's not, because you can work hard, but if your systems aren't in place and everything is not functioning correctly, you're not going to make the profit you want to make. You need to have every single thing in your business running correctly in order for you to make money, and you have to work hard. So I think you have to, this is actually really good. Like, you got to think smarter, not harder. Like, take a step back and let's say you're trying to figure out how to make more money. The easiest way to look at that is say, hey, how many employees do you have? How much am I generating every single month? What are my expenses? And the simplest way to make more is by minimizing one of those three things. So if you have extra people you don't need, you may have to look at getting rid of them. If you have a lot of expenses on things you don't need to spend money on, then you got to cut that out, So it's a topic that most people don't mention, but in order to have a profitable business, you need to really make sure you're on your A game with everything. Because if one part of your business is not working, let's say like your lead generation, if that part's off, all the other things are going to kind of slowly go down. It's kind of like a domino effect, right? And I think for you guys, you need to have the systems in place. You need to have attention, and you need to have skills. Those three things create wealth. And that's kind of why I mentioned you need to figure out how to be more efficient. And how do you be more efficient? You have to figure out, hey, how do I save myself time every single day? How do I get rid of the simple things that I don't have to do and delegate it to someone else? And how can I make it so it isn't too expensive to do that? Multiple things you can do, and I'll give you guys a few options right here. So if you're a business, obviously your business runs on leads and lead generation. Every single business relies on people coming in through various sources in various ways, right? So many ways. So number one is you need to hire a leads manager. You need to hire VAs, someone who is cheaper than an average person would be. So you're already going to save your costs there. And someone who is competent, who can actually bring in some leads and who can actually run that stuff and run the lead generation part, because that's very important. That's like just cold calling, because a lot of these people I've seen have cold callers or like someone who does like automated reach outs who manages it all. You can do that too. But in reality, you need to have someone doing that. So that's number one. Number two, if you're running a marketing or ad campaign, you need to make sure that your ad is functioning. And I actually have a video on here, I'll plug up here right now, that I talk about more about how to have a good marketing strategy, how to actually run good ads. But you need to make sure what you're doing is actually going to give you money, not losing money, right? So a good marketing strategy is everything. And how do you save money on that? Multiple things. You could either hire a marketing agency who is cheaper and actually can run that part for you, because what does it do for you? That saves you time. That saves you a lot more time, and you could actually focus on delivering the product and working on the service rather than actually working on the lead generation. So that's why I highly recommend for anyone to delegate that lead generation, because I was a cold caller for 1.5 years. I have a lot of experience with that part. It's not fun. And if you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur, you're not at that level. You're past that level. You should not be cold calling if you're a business owner. It's a huge waste of time, because not only is it a low level to entry, but it's really a really bad spot to be in, because you lose a lot of time that you could put into other things that actually could make you way more money. So that's why I recommend, if you're starting or you're trying to get more leads, I would pay for ads, or I would hire someone who could help. You can hire someone to do cold calling, but you shouldn't be doing cold calling. You should be actually running the service. So that's why the whole video I'm talking about right now is about how you got to think smarter, not harder. And there's many other things you can do. And actually, this is another really helpful tip I think you guys should definitely hear is look at what people who are successful are doing. Look at their ads. Look at their marketing strategy, because you can pretty clearly find it. Like, it's right in front of you on the internet. Like, you can literally see it. So if you guys are looking and trying to say, hey, what's Grant Cardone doing? What is he doing that I'm not doing? Look what he does. Look how he talks. And take some of those things and bring it into your business. every day I see things online and I definitely look at it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to implement this. I like this. I don't like this, right? And I'll kind of give you guys a brief example on what I'm talking about. So in my company, I created this return on investment calculator. So if you guys don't know, I run an advertising agency currently for realtors and brokerages who are in real estate. And basically I'm helping them go from 1 lead or 2 leads a month to 5 or 6 to 10 deals or leads a month. And to get from that point A to point B, that isn't easy. But advertising a lot of it, because you need to get the people in the door, right? And I'll explain kind of in a second, I'll explain like what I did, right? So I made this ROI calculator. So when I'm presenting my information to the realtors and the brokerages, I can very clearly show them how much money they're going to make in 3 months or 6 months. And I have data to back this. Like it's not, I'll say it's not 100% accurate, but if you can run the numbers, you can say, hey, what's the CPL? What's the PPC, right? All of these things on the ad, like it's going to help. You can look at the PPL on the ad, and the cost per link is going to tell you a lot about stuff that you didn't know. Because for example, I do split tests. Like I run split tests all the time. And today I actually ran some ads and I had to split my B1 test and B2 test. And I found out that one of them, because I said a certain thing in the ad, it got slightly more clicks. So those little things you can take, and the only way you find that out is by working with an expert. You can't do that yourself because you don't have time. It takes hours of, looking at it and studying and figuring out what works and running the campaigns and figuring out who I'm targeting and figuring out how to actually make that, and all these things. It takes time. And when you want to have a successful business and you want to work smarter and not harder, you need to be smart with your time. And that's why you want to delegate. You need to say, hey, I am not doing this part. I'm going to pass this on to an expert who understands this part very clearly and who will deliver me leads. All my job is to deliver my services and my product. That's your mindset. Because can you do everything? No, you can't. But that's kind of why I'm mentioning this, right? So again, if you are in real estate, reach out to me. I can definitely give you guys a solution. And I have experience with this. I have done 15 plus deals in the last 6 months. Like I very clearly understand how to help you guys who don't know what they're doing. But for you guys, what do you think you should do? Get help. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're older and you don't understand all this new technology, you probably should work with someone younger who very clearly understands how to help you. So I'll kind of leave that with you guys. And after this video, I want you guys to click on this other video right here that talks about a real estate strategy that I have used and I previously used the last 6 months to, I guess, a year now. And I think it's really interesting. So if you guys are looking to get started, there's a method here, and it's a wholesaling method that you guys should definitely look at, because I can tell you for a fact, understanding these strategies and understanding what you're doing and understanding the really tough things and doing the tough things is what's going to get you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So click that video and I will see you guys up there in that video.